So, good afternoon. I am here ready to sit in Satsang, and no one joined me today. No one in the sense of no one enrolled, and yeah, that's how it is, and it's absolutely fine. Although my mind is like, this is not right. No, my mind is actually saying a lot more. That's why I decided to make a video, because there is something that I want to share with you, especially in this time that we are all dealing with. Okay. The mind is actually always active. There is no moment that the mind is not active. It's always active. So I decided a while ago to facilitate satsangs, and now, because of the situation, I am somehow limited. Yeah, no, that's not the right word. I got invited to do these satsangs online, to organize them online. So, well, I will tell you precisely what is going on right now in my mind, because that's what I want to talk to you about. At this moment, there is a part in my mind giving me lots of thoughts which are negative. Thoughts that say, what are you talking about? What are you doing? You're not clear. You don't know how to do this, you don't know how to do that. So it's a lot of negative thoughts, and it is stopping me from being, from doing, from being mainly. And right now it's like a big interference, because this is not right. The mind, that part, says to me that's not mine. Why? Right? Why am I saying that part? Because I feel that there's another part, which, how should I say? Or maybe I make it too difficult. So. No, I wanted to switch off, but I'm not going to switch off, because this is precisely it. This is precisely it. It was my mind that said, like, oh, I'm going to switch off, because these first two minutes that I'm recording right now, that is actually a waste of time, and everyone that will look at the video will just think like, what the hell is she talking about? So yes, this is what's happening when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. So I'm just going to talk, and maybe it's not logic at all, but it has to be like that, because if I try to be logic, if I try to be good, if I try to explain myself in perfect words, if I try to do my best, then I block. That's what just happened this first 3 minutes ago. So I'm very happy that I'm continuing, that I didn't tapped on this red button, because then magic stops. And yeah, well, I do believe in miracles, and well, see, it's back again. It's something just happened. Let me just rewind what happened. I think I just said something which was so strange for my mind. Which, like, in my mind, there is a part that I call which I call ego, which is like, imagine a person sitting in front of how do you call that red button, red button, a zoomer, and I think it's like just a red button. So he's in front of this huge red button, and every time when the ego hears something that is a trigger, which is a trigger, yeah, he steps on it. He just did it again, because I couldn't find the word, so he's stepping on it. And what is the ego trying to tell? Why is the ego actually stepping on the red button? Is because he wants to warn me for well, you can say he's just warning me for death, which might sound very big. Maybe you think like, what, a death? yeah, if you just listen very close, if you listen good, and if you really question all the, no, not question, if you just listen to all the thoughts, they all end up to one thing, and that's death. Yes, death, like like watch out, you're going to fall down. If you continue doing this, you're going to fall down. So it is I would say misleading us a lot, because it just misleaded me by saying stop, you're saying something wrong. Before he just said stop this video, you're saying nonsense, it's better to stop, and if you continue you will fail, and if you fail you will be with pain, and if you are with pain you will suffer, and if you suffer you will die, because you cannot live in you cannot live suffering your whole life. Okay, I don't believe what my ego is saying. Well, I should say I do believe what my ego is saying until I question it. If I don't question my ego's thoughts, I will just be like, oh, yes, I'll be constantly on alert. And it's like, if you're, so imagine again this person behind the red button. It's like all the time, it's like all the time pressing the button, because it wants your attention. If it doesn't get your attention, it might try other ways to get your attention, but the effect will be pressing a button for you to be triggered. I don't know how you say this in English. In Dutch we have a way of saying he takes everything out of the closet. This is the way that we say this in Dutch, so it's literally translated. He takes everything out of the closet, all his tools out of the closet, for you to listen, just listen. Okay, so imagine, I mean, I hope you can you can follow me and that you can recognize these thoughts. Otherwise, it might be very difficult for you to follow my story. If you recognize this in your head, and you recognize that the ego is doing this constantly to you, or at least a lot of times, it's good to know that you have a choice. You have a choice rather to believe it or to question it. Yeah. So he takes all the tools, and he's very creative. And if you are going, for example, if you develop yourself in spirituality, he will also develop himself in spirituality, and he will take all the tools that you gathered along the way, along your path. He will use that as well, always in his favor, always in his favor. In his favor, what is actually the aim of ego? I already told you I'm not going to be worried if I am following a line of thoughts. I'm just going to share everything that comes up. So what is it that the ego, what's the aim of the ego? Well, if you look at all the thoughts, they're all based on fear. And that's the aim of the ego, which I believe, and for everything that I just said, everything that I will say, just see if it's true for you. Don't believe me just like that. Just see and do your own inquiry and see if it works, if it's true for you. So yeah, thoughts that are ego based are fear based. Yeah, you have to look at it to be able to recognize this. They are all based on fear. Even if in the beginning you think like, oh, it's pretty good thought, I never thought about it, why should I do this if it doesn't work? Anyway, I will give you an example, because again, ego is very creative and will do everything to make you believe his thoughts, his warnings, for you to act on them. So I want to give you an example. Today I organized a satsang online, and I had 2 enrollments which were not able to participate when I went online. One already called off before I started the satsang. So the other one already told me that she was not sure about it. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm just going to do so I was thinking, maybe I am going to do this all for nothing. Maybe this is not the way, and if I am going to put my energy into this, I will not receive anything back. It will be a waste of time. It's better to focus on other things which do give me energy, because living a life with only focusing on things that don't give me energy will not make me happy, so on and so forth. So in the beginning, this thought looked pretty normal, yeah? Like, maybe it's not such a good idea to do this, and it's gonna be a waste of time. But a waste of time, it's actually an idea of the ego. The ego believes that you can waste time, and that with time it's very important to. Time is precious, and it needs to be well organized. It needs to be well used. You need to be conscious with your time, with scheduling your time, and you're in control. So make sure you're doing a good job there. Otherwise, you will fail. And again, this is a thought of the ego, which is not. It is. Well, wait. I want to say which is not true. Maybe I go too fast. It is fear-based. It's a fear-based thought. And yeah, that's it's pretty funny what comes in right now, which thought comes in. I was like, oh, there's so much that I want to share, and then this ego comes right away. Oh, I already 12 minutes talking, and I have to go straight to the point because I have to tell them this, and I have to tell them that. And again, in the beginning, this thought sounds pretty nice, like, oh, I want to share so much. But if I really listen what's behind the thought, again, there is fear saying to me, oh, like, it's not enough time, come on, do your best. So ego is always interfering. It's always interfering, and it's fear-based. You get that? Great. Yeah, what I want to talk about is that it's about disconnecting. It's about being a part of disconnection. It's about disconnection with your true self. It is. Oh, I just said. It's about disconnecting with your true self. Maybe you never heard about this. Maybe you do. If you do, great. If you don't, great. It's always good. Okay, so ego is this belief system. Let's call it a belief system, which is running in your mind already for many years. I think most of us don't even remember when it started. Many of us will think that it's them. It's not. Maybe in this video we'll not be able to go to that point, but that's not who you are. If you think like, whoa, now you're saying something that I would like to know more about, start with asking the question, who is thinking these thoughts? If you think it's me, like, okay, all those thoughts, if you're thinking those thoughts, you think that The question is, are you your thoughts? So if you think that you are ego, if you think that the thoughts that come from the ego-minded, the ego belief system, just ask yourself if you are that. Okay. Separation, that's what the ego wants. Wants separation. And people, what is happening right now? Isn't it just a huge separation party that we are all celebrating? Isn't it just a huge celebration party? Everyone is in this house, and if you're not in your house, you're probably working somewhere that you are separated from other people enough to be able to do your job safely. It's like a big separation party. And yeah, so we are actually joining the party which is facilitated by the ego. Separation. And it's all driven. Why are we in this situation? Yeah, you can give it a name, like we're all using one name, but behind that name there is one sensation which is called fear. And I just told you that ego is based on fear. So this separation party worldwide is based on fear, facilitated by ego. And if you feel identified with it, if you think you are the ego, if you think you are your thoughts, if you think you are your ego, then probably you feel very comfortable with this. Like very comfortable. You feel like, yeah, this is it. I have to protect myself, and I have to stay home, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and not because it makes you feel happy. So I'm saying this with a lot of joy. But I should make another picture. It must be like, yes, I have to protect myself. My God, we are all in danger. What do I have to do? I cannot handle this. How can I? I have to follow the news. I have to see everything. I have to be informed. I don't know what to do. Okay, I just stay home, because and you will get very anxious, and maybe you will get mad. You get mad at the people that act different. You get mad at people that have a different point of view. Anyway, the sensation that you feel, again, this red button, bang, 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 it is triggering anxiety. It is triggering an upset. It's discomfortable feeling. Okay, give it any name. It's a discomfortable feeling. If it's a discomfortable feeling, it comes from the ego. Fear gives you discomfort. If there will be a person right now, if you are the one that thinks like, well, fear is pretty comfortable, I don't think that's true. There are also people that say pain is nice. Well, then just put your finger, if that's really true, if pain is nice, if pain is good, you have a lot of people that say that. Pain is good, like in sports they say that. It's good to feel pain because then you feel that you're alive. Or you feel that you can go even further, that you well, if that's really true, because what you're saying is pain is nice, then just put your finger in the how do you call that, between the door and the thing around the door, the wall, between the wall and the door, and just close the door very hard. You have pain. If you're not laughing, if you're not liking it, it's not true. Same comes with the fear. If fear for you is comfortable, I'm not talking about ecstasy, or how do you call that, an excitement. Sometimes people can say, oh, I'm afraid to bungee jump. But if I jump, I just feel excited. I feel this, how do you call that, excitement, ecstasy. I feel that ecstasy in my body. And so maybe the fear is just an effect on your act. But fear is not the reason why you feel the anxiety, not anxiety, ecstasy, the ecstasy. that is just a neuro whatever effect. I don't know. I cannot get into it. It's not fear. Fear is actually giving you an unpleasant feeling. But you can decide just to say, okay, no matter what, because that's what you say when you jump. It's what you said before you jumped. No matter what, no matter the fear, I am going to jump. So it's the same. So again, it's this person that is just all the time on this red button, hitting this red button. So this is just happening. This is just something that is happening in you. And like I just said, you have the choice to say, whoa, stop, before I'm going to act, before I'm going to say no, I'm not going to jump. Let's just see what the trigger is about. I also hear a lot of people that believe that are into this way of living. I want to say in this philosophy, well, but it doesn't make really sense if I call this philosophy. But in this way of living, they say, oh, when ego comes up, I just hear and let it go. Well, that's called a technique. Ego comes up, a fear-based thought comes up, and you just say, I hear it and I let go of it. It will come up and I hear it and I let go of it. Or they say, thank you for showing me this and goodbye. So what will the ego do? Oh, you're not listening. I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more till you listen. So this is actually what is happening. The ego wants you to listen. Again, the ego wants you to disconnect, to... I just lost the other word. Separation. He wants separation. The ego just wants separation. So if you are not acting towards separation, you're acting to the opposite, which is connection. So what I just said before, I said the ego doesn't want you to listen to your true self. To connect, if you listen to your true self, you reconnect, you're already connected. So it's actually false if I would say reconnect. You are always connected. There's no way that you can disconnect from your true self. It will be very funny, because then you are just like, oh, today I was just not myself. You have people saying this a lot. It's not true. Today I was not myself. I was really not myself. I was like, yeah, don't know, felt very anxious. I felt very... So how do you do that? How? It's like you stand up and you're just standing in front of the mirror. Imagine that you have a closet with a mirror, and you're just picking up a suit and you're just wearing it, and you feel like, that's not really me. And no, how should I say this? This doesn't make sense. How can you, if you stand up, it's like you can just wear two suits. One is yourself and one is the other. But then you must be plain. You must be blanco. You must be like nothing to fit in one of those. How can I explain this? How can you not be yourself? And maybe this question will help you. If you say that you can connect with that you can reconnect with yourself, and that you can lose yourself. So what is actually happening, and who is connecting with who, and who is losing itself? So who is connecting with itself and who is losing itself? So therefore there must be a third person to choose. So this third person, I have no name for it, will be choosing for today I am myself, tomorrow I'm not myself, to this moment I am myself, and this moment I'm not myself. Oh, let me see what I would like to wear today, myself or not myself. Oh, yesterday I was myself, maybe today I will not be maybe today I will not be myself. if you say, I am not myself, I was not myself today, and I was not, who is I? Who is the I that you're talking about? I am not myself today. Oh, I'm so myself today. I feel so connected with myself. So who is the I that's connected with myself? There are two. So, you are connected. You are yourself, always. Always. It's more like remembering and choosing for it. Maybe it's even more like staying in truth. So, again, this ego comes and tries to trigger you, and if you are conscious that you have a choice, if you are at that moment conscious, aware that you have a choice, what happens if you, let me first explain to you what happens if you're not aware. If you're not aware, that means that when this is happening, you're not even aware that this is something outside of you happening, or outside of you, like something which is not you is doing this, because you're so identified it. And what happens when you identify it, you're like in it, you're like a fish that's in the water, and another fish says to him, oh, do you know that there is water around you? And when you are identified with this, you're like, water around me? What are you talking about? So you have no idea that you're in it. So when this is happening, when you're not aware, you will just act on it because you're not even aware that you have a choice. So you will just act upon it, and what will happen is this disconnection. You will disconnect. So this wait a minute. Separation. You will say, okay, I am separate from you will believe that you are separate from what you truly are. You believe that you're separate from what you truly are. So there you are, and you believe that you're separate and that you have to protect yourself. You're separate from all the others, and you're vulnerable, you can get hurt, so you have to protect yourself, and ego has all the tools for you to protect yourself. Well, is that true? No. On the end, that's not true, because if you will say yes to this, unaware, you are saying yes, this is true, you will be feeling hopeless. It's not that ego says to you like, oh, I tell you what the truth is, just come to my side. Separate yourself from, I don't even know if this is the correct way of saying it, separate yourself from the rest, and just believe in this. Not that the ego is saying like, and I have everything for you, I have all the tools, don't worry, I will just make sure that you're okay. No, it's more like, and just watch out and make sure that you're not fall. So we are in this separation party. We have to watch out, and you cannot rely on anything, or maybe you can rely temporarily on something, and then maybe you will find out that that's also not really 100% reliable, so you have to find something else. So it's this constant moving of fear and anxious, very anxious. If you are aware, the moment when ego is hitting, that you're not your thoughts, if you are aware that you're not your thoughts, then a choice comes up. Let me see what is just talking right now. It's very funny. So ego also wants to be it wants to keep on he went through. It's like funny. What just happened was like ego just came up with this, this I call this story of then this choice comes up. It's like ego wants me to be so right that he tries to give me some things like that. I have to say this. It's even better. Your story is better. Like now my ego is saying, like, your story is pretty nice. It can even be better. So just say this. It's not true. It's not true. So it was like I have to sell my cookies even better, and I don't have to sell any cookies. I'm not here to sell any cookies. So when you are aware that you're not your thoughts, when a thought arises, you will be. So if you're not aware that you're your thoughts, and when a thought arises, you can just look at it. Next step, question it. Third step, question it even more. Fourth step, question it even more. Do this whole inquiry till you find the truth. Till you find the truth. So now I can imagine that your mind, ego, is saying truth. There is no truth, and if you are a psychologist, you might say there is no truth, no one truth. I'm not talking about the one world truth. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your truth, your true nature, your truth. You know, I think all of us, they know this feeling of it's right. Not right in the sense of right and wrong. I'm talking about this feeling of it's right, and I'm touching my heart because it feels like it comes from the heart. And you say yes. This is true for me. This is right. This is right. This is right. So you question it. You do your inquiry. Socrates was the one that always asked why. Well, it's not really important to ask. Well, maybe it's the question why can be helpful, but as long as you question it. So the thought comes up. Oh, this is very. Coming back to my own example from the Satsang. Why should I do this? It's not going to work. This is a waste of time. I will just ask the question. Is this true? Is this really a waste of time? Or I would ask this question. Is this true? Is this really a waste of time? Let's see what happens. I mean, am I wasting my time right now? No, ego would say. No, you're not wasting your time right now. But just be honest. You have other things to do. Oh, which other things do I have to do? Like, you are also a little bit tired. You can just have this time for you to relax. That will be very good for you. And you have your son. He's needing you all the time. So that's not true. I'm not tired, and my son is not needing me all the time. And in fact, he's with his father, right? He will be with his father. So this is before Satsang. He will be with his father. So I think, I believe he will be fine. And if no one is coming, I can do other things. I can just enjoy this time for myself. So it's very fun. So ego is like this. Man, why she's not listening to me? If she's going to continue that way, she will. So at least that will be her destination. It's like, oh man, if I would have this signs that has this red sign saying stop, or how do you call it? This is in English as well. Dead ending road. Dead ending road. At least in Dutch, if you translate it literally. I like to translate sometimes things literally out of Dutch. It's a dead ending road. So it's like all those signs. So I questioned the thoughts that the ego gave to me before I started the satsang, and then my ego was like, man, why she's not listening? It's not good. It's not good. yeah, okay. Oh, then my ego said something really funny. Okay, you're doing this. As long as you just are aware that this is ignorance, one time you will find out that this is all a waste of time. Maybe you just need this step to grow. So do it. In the end, you will come back and you will say, "Oh man, you were right. You're right." And then oh no. And then the ego says, so then you will come back to me and you will say that I'm right, and you will thank me, and you will, and next time you will make sure that you listen even better. So maybe you just have to go do the satsang. You will learn from it. You will learn that this is not it. You will come back to me, and then you will listen. So actually, what the ego says, go. It gives me permission now. Go and do this, because you need it to go and do this, because you need this experience to listen better. So I questioned all the thoughts. I continued my work. I how do you say this? I opened the online satsang, and and yeah, I was just available. I was available for the to sit in satsang with other people, and I already had the idea that I would use the time for something else, like a video. But then my ego said to me, like, oh, okay, well, this idea that you have to make videos, I don't think that's really working as well. Because look, all the videos that you made till now, you didn't get a lot of reactions. You did got some, and they were nice. Okay, they were very nice, but come on, you're not doing it for that. It needs to. It's a lot of work that you put into it. It needs to give you something. It's like when I pay 10 euros, I want to receive at least 10 or 20 back. And then I asked my ego again, is this really true? And I'm like, no, that's not true. I'm doing the videos because I like it. I get a lot of energy from the videos. It's actually, I'm making the videos even for myself. So I enjoy when people enjoy it, but apart from that, I do it for myself. Ego comes again. It's like a whole constant conversation. Ego comes again and says, you're doing it for yourself? How arrogant. My God, I really thought that you developed yourself, but maybe everything that you've been focusing, everything that you have been developing yourself into, or how you said that inspired you till now, was actually making you even more ignorant. And now the ego is doing something very smart. Disconnected, separate from what you truly are. So ego comes up with things because, again, ego is hitting the bottom for me to listen, to choose separation. And now he is like covering the message, because he knows that if he will talk in clear, fearful thoughts, I will not listen anymore. So again, the aim of the ego is for me to listen, to connect, to fear. So I'll choose for separation. So I will separate myself from what I truly am. It's the only way for the ego. He comes from that. So that's, well, he wanted to talk again. Let me see where I was. So he comes. He covers his message, and he says, oh wow, if you say that you're doing this for yourself, then you're stepping in arrogance, and that might be a sign that you're going the wrong way. Might be a sign as well that everything that you were focusing on, that you were giving attention, because you were not giving attention to me. Well, he doesn't say to me, you were not giving attention to the ego, so ego is even, no, you were not giving attention to the ego, you were giving attention, you were not giving attention to the ego, you thought you were not giving attention to the ego, but in fact, you did. So, wow, my God, what an amazing way of putting it for me to just pull me to that side. Didn't step in that one. Once I heard a very nice way of saying it's like a piece of shit with cream. It's someone once came with this metaphor, and I thought it was I'm still using it because I really love it. It's like a piece of shit. Like ego is presenting me a piece of shit totally covered with cream. So I think like, that's so nice. Yes. It's true. It's shit, and you're in it, and you're like, I cannot get out. I have shit everywhere. How can I wash this? But in this case, I did sniffed on it when he came up with videos that's not going to work as well. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Yes. Yeah, that's true. No one is actually, there are people, but so. And then I got back and I said, no. I got back by questioning. This is also the only way to come back. The only way to come back is to question. So if you ask yourself like, when I'm in this piece of shit, when I'm totally covered in shit, how do I get back? Question. Just start by questioning the thoughts, and then slowly you will come back. So if you are digged in shit for like very deep, then it also will take some time to get out. Maybe not, but at least question till you feel like, okay, yes, now I'm clean again. I said a lot. Let me see if there's more that I want to share. This separation party. I think I will make more videos about the separation party that we are in. And I'm just doing it because I want you to be aware that you don't have to join this separation party. Just note that I'm not telling anything about the rules that rules and advices that the governments are giving us. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying like you have a choice for yourself to act and to be what is true for you, to be your true self, and even to respect all the rules and all the advices that they give you. Respect. I'm not here to say people just go against it, go just do. If they tell you not to hug a person even if he doesn't want to be hugged because he needs to feel that he's connected. No. That will be this one. Oh yes. But I think I will make more videos about the separation party, and that we can be free in this separation party. We can choose for our freedom in this separation party, and then this separation party will feel like a connection party, a huge connection party. Although we are all maybe physically not connected, we can connect in a different way. We can realize our connection in a different way. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make more videos. I don't know the name yet, but it will be something with connection, with separation party and and reconnecting. No. Reconnecting. We cannot reconnect. Stay connected. That's what we can. So just want to say one thing about that, because I said we cannot reconnect. So we are always connected, but this when we go into these thoughts of ego, we will it's like we lose this sense. It's like we get lost into it. It's like we don't feel it anymore, this connection. We lose we go into, like I heard Moji saying yesterday, we step into ignorance and arrogance. And when when we step into ignorance, it's like we are blocking ourselves. We're not hearing anything from the true self. Not hearing that anymore. We're not letting it in. Yeah, we're not letting it in. It's like we're stopping it. Stopping it, is that true? No. It's not that we're stopping it. It's that we're not paying attention to it. We're not giving it attention. And if we don't give it, we give the other side attention. We give this ego attention. We go into the ego. We go into those thoughts, and we will believe, yes, that's totally true. And it's not that we're stopping the other side. It's more like we don't hear it anymore. We just don't hear. We just don't pay attention. But if you question it, it's like you give space. Like, okay, you have something that you're in it, like this piece of shit with cream around it. Like, is this really cream or is there something else under it? You know, you question. So you make open space for other information to come in. And then, bit by bit, you will feel again connected. You will feel connected again. Yeah, this is true. For me, this is right. Yes, I would say, right, this is right. This is really right. Do I want to say more about that? I think I will leave it till here, and I will continue in the next video. Let me know. I would like to hear your comments about this video. More like what do I want to hear? Oh, I always like feedback. No, it's not true. It's not true. I do not always like feedback. You know, this is very funny. It's like my ego is like my manager. Like, okay, Reis, you did a very good job. I think so. Let's just see if this actually really works. Just ask the people if they want to give you comments, because then, then it's worth it to make a video. You don't have to do anything, nothing. Whatever you want to do with this video, be welcome. See you next time.